Is I want you to connect a band into a door. This exercise is going to be really helpful for making you a little bit more aware of the hip positioning. So a lot of people tend to have one hip that's either rotated backwards or sits a little bit more posterior, and one hip that might be more forward. So for me, my left hip seems to sit a little bit more further backwards, and my right hip likes to sit forwards. So this is an exercise that you can practice to help these hips be a little bit more neutral and kind of propel and remind your body that this hip needs to come forward and support your torso in a more neutral position, okay? This may be causing some hip discomfort, it may be causing some core inhibition, some pelvic floor inhibition, so we want to fix this. So this is a good exercise that you can practice and that you can do a couple of different movements with that's going to remind your body of holding this hip properly in place and staying neutral. So the first one I'm going to have you practice, you're going to step right into the band that's being anchored to the door via the handle on the other side. And you're going to slip it right up into your hip, right up into as high as you can go into that inguinal area. And you'll immediately feel what this is going to do is it's going to pull your hip further backwards. So naturally, your body's going to propel that hip further forwards and resist it, okay? So what we're going to do is take a couple of steps forward so you feel that resistance, okay? Make sure that your hips are nice and neutral. So what I mean by that is you want to prevent the butt from sticking out. You want to tuck that pelvis right underneath your torso and underneath your body, okay? You'll feel a little bit of engagement through here, right under the belly button. That's great. That's just what we're looking for. So nice and tall, I want you to think about being planted in three positions, 3 places on the foot, okay? Your tripod, right under your big toe, right under your little toe, and right under your heel. I want you to feel that on both legs, okay? So with your leg in the loop, nice and tall, pelvis tucked under, we're just gonna start with some hip hinges. So sitting that booty back, hinging at the hips, keeping the knees relaxed. We are not bending at the knees. And you're gonna drive straight up. And again, you'll feel this hip being driven forward. And I want you to do that on your own as well. So hinge back, drive that hip forwards. And you'll feel a lot more oblique engagement on that weaker side as well, okay? So hip hinge back, keep a nice neutral spine, okay? And forward. If you're having trouble here and you're rounding your spine, you can take a dowel, hold it against your head and hold it against your tail, so that as you do this, you keep a nice straight back. That's really important in a deadlift pattern.